Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. A happy Wednesday to all. Of course, we are continuing with Miss Yuri's recent drop. The title track, Taxi, was absolutely spectacular. And now we have the rest of the EP to check out. Oh, it has been so. I always forget that Why Waltz in Minor was technically like a 3-track single. And it feels like it's been so long since we had a proper EP from her. And I mean, to be fair, it has. But frankly, here's my thinking approaching this EP. If any of these B-sides are going to be anything like what Taxi was in terms of quality, oh, this is going to be spectacular. This is going to be amazing. And yes, I look forward to jumping into what the rest of the album has in store. So, before we start with track number 2, Lemon Black Tea, I have just noticed that, like, I have album credits pulled up on the second screen just below the webcam over here. Ludwig Lindell on composition and arrangement on Taxi. It looks like lead composer on Taxi. Ludwig Lindell has done a whole bunch of songs, and it's a name that I immediately recognize from a whole lot of stuff that I enjoyed listening to. Shall I read off some of the songs on his Genius page? Red Velvet's Red Flavor, Balgamma, Zimzalabim, Itzy Swipe, The Boys is Maverick, Treasures I Want Your Love, of course, that's a very recent piece, very good, Jinsel Singing in the Rain, Eve's New, Lucia Sonya's Last Sequence, like, there are so many songs in Ludwig Lindell's kind of Genius page. And there's like so many different artists, so many songs, and all of them are so freaking good. And I'm glad that you got a chance to work on a Yuri title track. But anyways, that's enough fawning over the title track for 1 minute. We're going to start with track number 2 on the album. This is Lemon Black Tea. Lyrics by Mr. Young K. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, son? Okay. Young K getting involved with the lyrics? Hell yeah. Love that he's getting more direct, like, music composition stuff, at least in the lyric department or lyrics composition. Just love that he's getting involved with some behind the scenes stuff. Composition, Paul Kite, Eldon, arrangement by Paul Kite. Kiera, oh, actually, volume's too high. Here we go. What is this? Hello, hold on. Whoa, it's so minimal. I love that her vocal is just, you're getting all of the breathy vocal from her right now. It's really chill. It's almost kind of giving me jazz fusion vibes, actually. There's the vocal run. Hello, wind section. Yeah, this verse section is so interesting. It's like, this is taking minimalism to an extreme. One bass, and that's it. That's so cool. Of course, we're getting a little bit of it building now. And because that verse is so minimal, the song just naturally like builds as the song progresses, and I like that. her breathy vocal runs is just absolutely gorgeous. I also like that she's not like belting at all on the song. It's all breathy high tones. Oh shoot, that was quick. It's one of those songs where we didn't get one final chorus. No. Oh. I don't like this current streaming meta. I want one more chorus. But yeah, Lemon Black Tea, very, very different song. It's kind of similar in a way to Taxi and how it's been composed, where you've got that super minimal verse. Like, Taxi, of course, had the chromatic piano-bass combo, and now Lemon Black Tea was just like, all bass, and only bass. The singular. And it's like, oh, this is a little bit different, oh, this is a little bit tasty. And it's not what you expect. And I kind of like it. It's different. And it's an extremely kind of tame way to follow up Taxi, which I think is a really interesting arrangement choice. That you're not going to follow up a high-energy song with another high-energy song, but instead you've kind of taken the compositional cues of Taxi and spun it into a little bit of a slower version of it. Like, Lemon Black Tea and Taxi compositionally have a few actually similarities, the natural progression of the build of the instrumental section, the very simple verses that develop later down the road, the really breathy high notes, the runs to fill in the in-between phrases and things like that. Like, this one just doesn't have a final chorus in it. But apart from that, compositionally, very similar. Even though, like, as you listen to it, it's a very different song. Very chill. It's almost like what late night meets jazz fusion meets city pop for me. And those three genres put together make for a very fun sound. Very vibey, but very fun sound. And Lemon Black Tea, for me, really fits that bill, so solid. Next up, A Bitter Taste, track number 3. Lyrics by Sunny. Sunny spelled with 3 N's, no U. Composition, Alina Smith and Annalisa Morelli of Lyre composition team, as well as Jordan Kane with Lyre on arrangement. I'm pretty sure we've had music from people over in the Lyre team before. Let's check out the song. Here we go! Why did it just switch? Whoa, lounge? Okay, where is this gonna go? Okay, we're getting a lot more of her powerful vocals in this. It's a lot more in your face than Lemon Black Tea for sure. Again, very minimal verse. I wonder if that's going to be a thing on this album. We have that walking synth bass. It goes lounge jazzy. section. Hello. Unless this is the bridge. The additional vocal chop synth part as well. Oh my goodness, again, very short song. Very short. I feel like it's another one of those songs where it's missing one more chorus. And again, streaming meta, but yo, hello? Again. Compositionally, like stylistically, compositionally, very similar to the other two songs we've had on the album so far. It's got that minimal verse, the kind of big growth in the chorus, and then a little bit of a genre switch in the pre-chorus, which is... I didn't think this would be like the common thing across the board on this album. I thought maybe they were going to go with like an energetic thing or like a genre thing, but no, it's a compositional style thing that they've managed to put together, and that's rare, I feel like. I feel like getting an album, I mean, I know we're, 60% of the way through the album only, but getting an album that is stylistically or like genre-wise very different, but compositionally very similar to each other is very rare, and I haven't come across an album that's like that in a hot minute. So very intrigued by how this one, like how the kind of structure of this album came to be, because, well, I'm looking at like credits across the board, and there is nobody that's on more than one song. So how all these songs managed to sound the same up until this point, or I shouldn't say it like that, how all these songs have stylistically, or at least on paper, appear to be so similar to each other, but also having very different composition teams is very interesting to me. For me, though, the main point about Bitter Taste is that lounge jazz pre-chorus. Like, I don't even know how they thought of that and how they've managed to like write it in, but as soon as the song goes into that walking like double bass section, you can hear a very faint horn section in the background. It's like, how did we get here? And then it's over, and then we're into the chorus, and it's like, okay, that happened. It feels like a fever dream, but it happened, and it's real, and it kind of works. And don't get me wrong, I love a good jazz song. But that is not how I anticipated getting Jazz Yuri. Am I surprised? Yes. Am I intrigued? Very. Am I pleased that happened? I don't know yet. I like the kind of wild switch that lounge jazz section brought in. I don't know if I like it because it's so different, or if I like what the final musical product is. That one's I'm gonna need to marinate a little bit. Okay, track number 4, Hang On. Lyrics by Jung Yoon. Composition, Ryan S. Jun, Thomas Erickson, Marlene Strand, Jeffrey Patrick, Early G. Nilsson. Arrangement by Ryan S. Jun and Earwolf. Now, Ryan S. Jun composition could go one of two ways. Let's see what this one is. Another chill song, I reckon. A lot of movement in that synth section. Whoa. That melody is very pretty. Yeah, that's really pretty.
But now I don't care at all. 몇 번이고 감아다져 넌 손을 네 텅 빈 온기도 사랑이란 믿을게 ready to text you, call me back. I still can't believe 이런 내가
And I love that melody is sustained through the entire song. If you pay attention to the synth part.
모른 척도 please speak
Ba
up
ba
the
ba
phone.
ba ba da
끝없는
ba ba.
행위.
Ba 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 da ba ba.
Don't leave me alone. 외쳐도 텅 빈 내일만 너 받지 않아. 아직도 hanging on. Yeah, baby, yeah. 아직도 잠에 들면
We get a proper bridge.
예전 우리 행복한 그때가 보여. 다시 우리 handle this better. Cause we always 느껴 함께란 걸. Please pick up the phone. 끝없는 행위.
I'll break off with that 2-part harmony.
주주의 다시 네 번호를 눌러. Don't leave me alone. 외쳐도 텅 빈 내일만 You hang up the phone. 아직도
And a bona fide outro. Oh, it's one of those outros that fades out instead of having a definitive cut. Okay, hang on a minute. That was entirely unintended, that pun, but whoa, that's actually a very cool composition choice. The fact that this song, the entire song from start to finish, has that perpetual like that melody is perpetual across the board at somewhere in the song, whether it's that piano part or whether it's in the vocals. Like in the beginning, I'm pretty sure it's a little bit different. I'm waiting for the verse. Yeah. So the very first lines of the first verse isn't as obvious. The fact that that melody is repeated over and over and over. And for me, that melody doesn't get old. In fact, I think that's the charm of this song, is the fact that that melody is incorporated everywhere. And it doesn't feel out of place. That's the thing. Having that same repeated like the same 4 measures repeated over and over and over throughout the song. And they just it's like they've recorded that one line and just copy and paste it across the entire song. And they've just assigned different instruments in different positions to essentially sing or perform that part. Whether it's Yuri on the vocals, the piano, the guitar, the synths. And even though it's repeated over and over and over again across multiple different phrases of the song, like the same phrase is being used in the hook, in the verse, in the pre-chorus, in the chorus, in the bridge, in the outro, but it all feels like it belongs there. And having one common like compositional motif tying together an entire song like this is, again, a thing that I haven't really come across recently, and I like how it's a little bit different. I like how it stands out. It's also just a very charming melody. Like, this is gonna make no sense, but if a melody was a person, that melody would be Yuri. It's just something a little bit playful, a little bit cute, but a little bit mysterious and a little bit captivating about that melody. That's kind of how I feel about Yuri as an artist, to be fair. It's just... Wait, I wanna... I want to get to the chorus, that's the main thing. There we go. That's just... Yeah, that melody is just so Yuri for me, and I love that. Oh my goodness, okay. That might be my B-side of the album so far. But I can't pass judgment yet because we have one more song. This is song number 5, titled Bruise. Lyrics, composition, and arrangement all done by Hen. That's it. Across the board, one team or one person. Let's see what this one is. Also a very short song. That makes me sad. An album does typically end on a ballad.
너와의 이별은 죽을 만큼 아프지도 무언가 흐르지도 않고 가만히 퍼져 있네 스치기 전에 아픈지도 모를 만큼 곧 사라질 거랄 정도로 아픈 것 같아 파란 마음은
Oh, background vocal part.
곧 사라질 거야
I love that it's just the piano. Piano and Yuri, and that's it.
모르게 흉터도 없이 파란 마음은 곧 잊혀질 거야 언젠가 네 이름을 새게
Also love that it's in triple meter too.
안 아프겠지
If there was ever a ballad written for Yuri, this is it. It's taking advantage of her breathy tone, and she's using it everywhere, and it's so perfect.
파란 마음은 곧 잊혀질 거야
Oh, even with a little bit of power, trailing it off with the airiness.
이름을 세게 누르면 또 아파올까 하얗게 먹는 내 마음의 색은 시간이 지나가야만 눌러도 안 아프겠지
The way the melody progressed from the powerful vocal into the breathy vocal into like the whispery vocal. Oh, ends on a firm chord too. I was expecting it to end on like a little minor 7 chord, but no, it ended on a firm major chord. This is exactly what I expect from a Yuri ballad. Like, this is everything I want from a Yuri ballad. It's her using that breathy vocal, almost like hearing all the notes taper away into an airy whisper rather than like cutting the notes off. Very smooth. It's almost lullaby meets like Christmas time ballad in a way. And she just really owns that type of music, and it's her voice. You give her a really soft song, and when she gets into that breathy, airy vocal, it's just like she's in her element. And I'm glad that she ended this album on a ballad, because I mean, she's got the pipes for it. She's got the voice for it, so like why not, right? And I've always said that when it comes to ballads, having the performer and one singular acoustic instrument has the most emotional impact. Point proven. It's quite literally Yuri and an acoustic piano. That's it. And I mean, we had a background vocal part in the middle, but that's all you need to get a really emotional or like really deep and smooth ballad across is a vocal and an acoustic instrument. That's all you need. And in fact, most of the times it's even more emotionally powerful if you do so, because it's so raw and it feels so personal. And I love that. I love that they decided to end this album with a really not like under engineered, but like a ballad that doesn't need a whole lot of extra magic worked in here and there. This, frankly, this album compositionally is actually quite complex. Like all the songs, even though like I think apart from Hang On and well, Bruise, like Bitter Taste, Lemon Black Tea, and Taxi, all like compositionally are very similar to each other. I've mentioned that already, but if you kind of really deep the composition and arrangement behind it, they're not simple songs. They're fairly complex in how they've worked in little bits and pieces. And Hang On itself, like the song stylistically is very different from, Bitter Taste, Lemon Black Tea, and Taxi, but it's still a fairly busy song. So having Bruise finish off the album and it being so stylistically different than everything else on the album is such a nice way to round out the project because it's showing that Yuri can do a whole lot of stuff when it comes to music and do a whole wide range of genres. But when it comes down to it, she's able to, be her the artist and her alone the artist and still pull off the exact same sensations of it. So solid, solid, solid. Final comments. I do wish that more of these songs weren't victims of the streaming meta. I say that for a lot of albums recently, but I really do feel like as someone who grew up with 80s rock music, that would, average 4.5, 5.5 minutes easily, like some songs going on to be like 7. Seeing 2.5 minute songs become the regular makes me sad because I feel like I can't enjoy the music enough. But also, I think the main takeaway from this album is I'm surprised at how kind of low key this album was after Taxi. 'Cause I was expecting like a B-side or two that was like matching the energy level of Taxi, because Taxi was really high energy. But to me, the album kind of ended more along the lines of Why Waltz in Minor rather than what I kind of expected with Taxi. I thought we go along the Why Waltz in Major route, but the album kind of ended along Why Waltz in Minor, and it wasn't what I was expecting. Am I mad at it? No. I'm just kind of surprised by it. But overall, solid album. I think B-side of the album for me is going to be Hang On. Just, it's a nice full song. It's quite charming in a way. It's very Yuri. But track of the album, Taxi, no contest. Taxi is so good. It's absolutely blooming brilliant. And I'm so happy that that dropped today because it's made my whole entire day. Today's been a crummy week. Allergies have been terrible. Uh, Grocery store stock has been terrible, so I haven't been able to get groceries. But that song's pepped up my day a little bit, and I'm very glad it did. But that is it from me today. Thank you all for listening along with me. Hopefully, you enjoyed it as much as I did. One last request from me today: let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world. Whether it be, checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. Know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music in his free time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.